What's going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another weekly rewind. We are here for week 13 with myself and Jake, along with our best buddy George. How you doing tonight, George?
Not too shabby, Just stopped, took a break from watching my Jersey Shore to come join this podcast.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Hey.
Welcome to the pod.
Yeah, welcome in, man. So I believe with George here, the only person that has yet to be on the pod is Nick B, and I did have a conversation with Nick. He said he wanted to be on for the playoffs only because that's where he's going to be.
Love it. Love it.
Also, Brandon's face is Nick's face. I'm confused on why.
It is.
But did
I
Brandon
think
play
it's got to
Nick
be
this
related
last
to the
week?
400 more points against, I'm assuming, because that's his name.
Oh, he
Cool.
does have 400 more points against the Nick. That is true, and more points for. Does he play Nick this week? Yeah, he does. That makes sense. Okay, gotcha.
Yep, it's 400. Yep.
Yep, that's
Yep, that makes sense.
pain. Must be nice. Actually, I only have 1,500. My team is just shit. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna hit the matchups right away. So as this is the final week of the regular season, we are coming up on. We've got a good playoff picture going on. A little sneak peek. We'll talk about that in the standings for a little bit. But let's get into it, huh? Let's do yeah, let's just do me and Jake first, huh? Rip off the
Why not?
band-aid. So Jake, here's the thing. Lamar gets hurt. What, second quarter? First quarter? He was
I'm
early.
down bad with that one.
He
I'm
was hurt
feeling really bad.
early. It was first quarter, second quarter, somewhere in there. I messaged Jake right after Justin Fields scored that big long rushing touchdown. I don't even remember what I said to you. I messaged you. I was flexing, and
It had to do with the fact that last week on the pod I referenced that because he was thinking Herbert for sure. At one point, you're thinking Herbert for sure. And I'm
yeah,
like, might want to consider Fields here. He did start Fields, and Fields had I think 20 in the first half against
he
the
did.
Packers. So it was
Yes,
looking really good. It's
yep.
looking really good.
And then he had 21 in the full game. Lamar
Of
got
course,
hurt. What was it? A sprained PCL? Was it?
I believe so.
I want
But
to
yeah,
say
he
that's it.
was.
So Lamar is out. I'm guessing he's missing time. I guess I haven't looked, but I would imagine that's a PCL sprain, 1 to 3 weeks. So you're missing him next week for sure.
Which is okay, but gotta have him back for the playoffs.
Yeah, you're gonna need him. I mean, honestly though, if he's questionable first round of playoffs, are you starting him
That's
based on
tough.
what he's been doing?
Well, it kind of depends who my other quarterback is. We'll get to
Fair.
that later, but
Yeah. So after seeing Lamar Jackson put up negative .66, I thought this was a guaranteed dub. Little did I know, my roster is terrible. T. Higgins was okay. Olave was fine. Derrick Henry and Kamara hurt my soul, man. I know they played Philly and Tampa, but man, these guys are supposed to be the
the
cornerstone of the
projection,
team.
like when Lamar went down, he pretty much or the projection looked like it was about even, but
Hmm.
obviously they were still giving him like 20 points,
Yeah, they're giving him a
24.
bunch of points.
So so I was kind of scared there, and I mean, yeah, Derrick Henry's projection was still pretty high. He had like the noon game. He was pretty early,
Yeah,
and
he was the noon game. Yep.
he was struggling, but for most of the first couple hours of Sunday football, the projections were pretty close, and I was kind of like, oh, if I somehow lose by like 4 or 5 points, like a 110 to 105 game with Lamar being out, that would suck if I somehow like lost that game and then somehow missed the playoffs. But luckily, I had some other players on my team go off. Samaje was one of them. He's been a
Yeah,
beast
that was a
lately.
big one for you. That would have been nice to
Well,
have, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Brian,
I just tried to.
Yeah, what's up, George?
I thought you were gonna have a pretty good season this year. What happened?
Dude, my team is cooked, man. Dude, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, studs. Alvin Kamara past 5 weeks broke double digits once. He
He's
stinks.
been disappointing.
The Saints have been disappointed. The Saints suck, man. I need Sean Payton back. I
Man.
spent so much time trying to figure out who to put in my flex for this game because I thought it was going to matter so much. Right, I stick Brian Robinson in there like literally 2 minutes before the game started. I had Lazard in there first. It didn't matter at all.
Okay.
They were within half a point. You know what does matter? Alvin Kamara and Derrick Henry getting 5 each.
Didn't you make a big trade for
For Henry?
one of those for Henry?
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, I
Any
did.
regrets?
Uh, a little. I'm pretty sure I gave like a second rounder for him. So yeah, a little bit.
Ooh.
Based on the fact that I'm not making the playoffs, yeah. There are some regrets there. Cade, you're welcome, man. Embrace it, the tank.
Hey Brian, it's okay. Cade got me too with the first rounder.
Oh,
Oh,
you still have a
Cade.
chance. You're still in the playoffs, though.
Is he gonna be
So that's-
stacked this next year?
I will be.
Yeah.
Oh.
Damn.
I didn't end up starting Zonovan Knight, who I spent like 30 free agency dollars on
Hey,
last
to
week,
be fair though, 17
but he had a good
points.
game. Yeah, he had a good game. So he played a noon game also, and I was looking at. I mean, the protection was pretty close for a while, so I was like, "That's 17. I really should have started him over Kareem Hunt." But
Yeah.
my team did pretty solid in Lamar, obviously. So I was happy with the performance overall.
Mhm.
Clinched the playoff spot now. All good.
Yeah, good for you, man. Let's get away from this matchup. Let's hit. Well, we'll do Cade and George next because this was an actual blowout. I mean, this is a free win for you, George.
I wouldn't say free win. I gave up a lot. Cade's lucky.
I see. In draft capital,
Oh yeah,
he bought the win.
paid to win fantasy football. Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much everybody on your team had a fantastic game. Mark Andrews it's not really what you want to see, but also 10 points from a tight end is tough to argue with.
He's definitely not on my keepers list as of now, so
Yeah, well, it's
I'd
tough
be
when
interested to see.
Lamar plays the way he does, and now Lamar's gonna be out for at least a week, so it'll be interesting to see. I mean, he's still like the only guy there that can catch a football, so he'll be okay.
Yeah, Tyler Huntley probably will target him a lot, I'm assuming, just because he's a big tight end and he's coming in. Tyler Huntley actually plays pretty solid in that offense. So
Yeah.
with a week to practice,
He's not bad.
I'm expecting him to do decent enough.
Absolutely. And Geno continued his dominance, 3 touchdowns, 367 yards. Beast, dude, taking on the Rams. J. Jeff was honestly kind of mediocre for J. Jeff, but it's fine. Watson, 2 more touchdowns. How does it feel, George? How does it feel to have
Dude,
Christian Watson on the team?
I picked this guy up and
Huge.
straight just like in need of a receiver. So he's been a good pickup. Beat Jake to it, so that's always a win.
Oh, that was sad. Yeah,
I'm looking at Christian Watson's
that's my
history
biggest
here,
regret of
Jake.
the season right there.
Drafted in the
dropping in.
149th overall pick by Greg. I believe that's 15th round. Dropped by Greg 6 days later. Picked up by you right away for free.
Yep,
Cut him. Oh, literally.
had to cut him when I had
wow.
so many receivers injured,
Hold
and
on. October
totally forgot to-
15th.
I either forgot to bid on him or didn't bid enough. I don't remember, but definitely have some regrets on letting him go because he is insane.
Was that you dropped him like the Washington? Oh, no. Okay. You dropped him.
I dropped him while he was
Okay,
injured,
while he was hurt,
my
yep.
other receivers were injured, and Dobbs he looked really good in the start of the season. So I was like, I thought Dobbs was going to be the guy for sure. And I just
That
needed a
hurts.
receiver early in the season,
Oh,
and that sucked.
That hurts so bad.
Still does.
Josh Jacobs has been.
I've been
an
needing a
absolute
flex,
monster.
so it hurts even more because I've been needing a flex really bad. Like I've had Kareem Hunt in the flex for probably a couple of weeks now. It's not a good feeling.
That's brutal.
Yes.
Josh Jacobs is still a stud muffin. Looks like he's questionable with quad injury. I imagine he'll be fine.
It's-
Yeah, I'm
It's
guessing
like
this is
that
just
every week.
Yeah, okay,
He's
it's like that every
fine.
week. Yeah. Singletary scored a touchdown, so you're happy. Rashad White had a touchdown and honestly, it was a
Game-winning
good game.
touchdown.
Oh yeah, that's right. That game stunk. Carlson, good game. Dallas defense, 54 points up against Indianapolis, 21 points for the D. 3 picks, a touchdown, and 2 fumble recoveries.
Yeah, fourth quarter they went crazy.
Hard to argue with that, right? Jeez. Good pick up there, George. Fournette on the bench, too, with 14 points. It's going to be tough to decide whether or not to start Fournette or Rashad White going forward, honestly.
I agree. I don't know. That situation is going to be a throw up, so we'll see.
They play the Niners next week, though, in San Fran. That might be a tough one. We'll see what
And I'm
happens.
just thinking about J. Jeff, Christian Watson, Cooper Kupp would have been a dream.
Ooh,
Holy.
yeah. Yeah, you're right. That would have been nice. Damn. Yeah, good week for you, George. Kate's side of the ball, let's just not talk about it, huh? Although, to be fair, Kate's bench.
Yeah, this is just a
Tank
tank. I
mode.
mean, he's
Yep.
got 30 from Metcalf, 37 from AJ Brown.
Kenneth Walker got hurt in that game. Hurt his ankle. I don't think they called it a sprain though. I think Pete Carroll said he jammed it. I don't know, weird injury. But yeah, decent. Let's do Brandon and Lemons, huh? It was like Toddzilla and something. I'm not gonna read this new name that Mike's got going on. I'm just gonna ignore that. Yeah. Let's see. Brandon took a nice L. Josh Allen, 19 points. Bad. Amari Cooper, dude, Deshaun Watson was terrible. Deshaun Watson was so bad in that game. Did you guys watch that game at all by any chance?
I didn't see it. I saw some of the highlights, but
Jacoby
I saw a couple plays.
Brissett, right? Okay, so Jacoby Brissett gets replaced by Deshaun Watson. This is Watson's first week back. Right? Jacoby Brissett is he's like standing on the sideline. You know where the refs stand? They're ready for a play, like on that white line for the out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
Jacoby Brissett is standing there with his helmet in his hand on that line, watching the game, just waiting to get pulled in, and he never did. I was watching.
Oh my God.
It was so funny, dude. So, yeah.
In Jacoby Brissett, he played pretty well over the last couple of weeks recently too.
Yeah, I mean, they won against
Deshaun
Tampa.
Watson was going to be that was pretty crazy. I mean, I don't think there was any way they were going to not start Deshaun Watson, just given how the team is. But yeah, I mean, I could see him standing there wanting to get stopped in when he's watching Deshaun Watson. I saw the terrible red zone pick.
Yeah,
that was what I definitely saw.
Watson didn't have a touchdown. He had a pick
rusty.
and maybe like 100-something yards passing. I don't have his actual stats, but I think that's what I remembered it being, because the defense for Cleveland had all the touchdowns, right? They had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So
they were going to be the Texans regardless. So.
Yeah, that's true. The Texans will beat themselves. Jalen Waddle put up 2 points, which is real tough when you look at Garrett Wilson and Devonta Smith on Brandon's bench. I was sitting next to him when those touchdowns were scored by Garrett Wilson and Devonta Smith. It was hilarious, let me tell you.
Oh, I love seeing this every week. I mention it every week, but I love seeing every single week his bench receivers pop off. It's awesome.
Because you're not benching Devontae. Right? I mean, Devontae had 44
I told him
points.
You got to just trade him away or something. You don't want to see that on the bench in the playoffs. You don't want to see that on the bench.
That's true. You're going to have to cut him.
Yeah.
Miles Sanders and Dalvin Cook were okay. Dalton Schultz was meh. Yeah, decent there. Lemon side of the ball. Mahomes, pretty sad, honestly. Deebo sad. Tyreek good. Everybody else was fine. Yeah, he had the Cleveland
Deebo was
defense.
Questionable going into that game.
Yeah, you're right.
So we didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, he was banged up. So yeah, that's not a terrible game for Deebo. He did okay.
Oh my God, that Cleveland defense!
Yeah, 33
you're
points,
right,
dude. That is.
I can't remember seeing a defense score that many points.
It brings me back to what was that? 3 years ago, 2 years ago, the
Patriots defense.
Yeah, the Patriots defense, where they were like the RB3 on the year or something like that.
Manta listens to the pod. He'll know.
Yeah, he'll know what year. That was it must have been 3 years ago, right? Because it was our first year of Dynasty League. Because Manta got pissed and we removed defenses the year after. That was
understandably
funny.
too.
Yeah, the Patriots defense wasn't that good the year after.
They were like a flex. They
were a starting running back, man. They were excellent. Yeah. They were like 20 points a week.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. Man, that was not happy. But yeah, so Cleveland defense, I think they hit for the cycle. They had a punt return for a touchdown, a pick six, and a fumble for a touchdown. So kudos to them. Yeah, Houston stinks. Go figure. So good win from Mike here. 40 points. Respect. Let's hit, what do we got? Greg and Manthai, speaking of the devil. Greg, I'm sorry, but you're not on the pod again, man. Taking an L. T-Law got
Let's
hurt.
Just take a quick second, Bryant, here, and talk about Greg's team management. This dude was so desperate to trade away his team that he started to sink his entire team for the #1 draft pick.
Yeah.
Benched Jamar Chase for Chase Claypool. Did you guys see Chase Claypool like destroy his thigh or whatever in the Packer game? That was kind of
Yeah,
icky.
I did. Yeah.
DPJ had a good week. Greg almost won this game, which is hilarious. Damon Pierce, JT, Hawkinson, Montgomery. Yeah, it's a lot of mediocrity going on. T-Law, did he get hurt in that game? He's questionable.
He did. I thought he got
Foot
hurt
injury.
like the middle of the game. Because I remember.
Final play of
Was
the
that
first half. He was able
Yep.
to get to the locker room under his own power. He was back on the field to start the second half. Must have came off after that, I would assume. But, well, he threw 31 passes. Maybe he did come back and play. But he stunk, apparently. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow, excellent. CD, very good. Tyler Lockett had 30 points. How? Crazy.
I saw one of his touchdowns. If he had more, I'm assuming he had
It
more
looks
than
like he
one.
just had one.
Okay, he only had one.
That's why I'm
Okay.
questioning it. I'm like trying to do the math in my head. Yeah, it checks out. Yeah, he just had 9 catches for 130
I saw
yards.
the touchdown as I think it was like a 50 or 60 yarder.
Must have been. That's
The
in
long
his
one.
DNA.
Yeah, it's Tyler Lockett special.
Yeah. The best tight end in the league had another stinker. And the best kicker in the league also had a stinker.
I think my kicker outscored. Oh yeah, definitely McPherson outscored him again.
Oh yeah, even
Love to see
Tyler
it.
Bass outscored him. The Bass Master, dude. Cole Kmet actually outscored George Kittle this week. Preston, you're gonna have to get him in your lineup, man.
True.
Everybody else on Preston's bench is pretty sad. Apart from, Goff was fine. Although Jamal Williams got another touchdown, I'm pretty sure he's like 1 or 2 touchdowns away from Barry Sanders' touchdown record now. So that's pretty cool.
Which is not expected.
Single
at all
season
going into
touchdown
season
record for the
whole.
franchise. Yeah, it's like, I want to say
That's
it's like
crazy.
13, something like that. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure he's gonna smash it.
A lot of things to be excited about for Lions fans on offense for sure. It's
Yeah,
crazy actually.
that's actually kind of true. Yeah, their defense though, we'll see.
Oh yeah.
Let's hit the last matchup here. We got Nick and Laner. Big win for Lane. Not gonna lie. This. Oh fuck. This actually sealed my fate, because if Lane loses this game, I still have a chance. Because my points for isn't that much off from Lane's, or I wouldn't have even needed it. I would have needed Lane to lose another game. Who does he play next week? We'll find out later. But yeah, this hurt big time. Jeff Wilson, you're dead to me. Kelsey, you stink. Gabe Davis, terrible. Jalen Hurts, I respect the effort. Yeah, this was tough. Jalen Hurts had an excellent game. McLaurin had a good game. This has got to be like one of his first good games of the year, right? No, he's had a few. McLaurin's been better than I expected. Is he still on your dynasty team, Jake?
He is. I haven't started him in a while, but he is still on the dynasty team.
Nice.
Really didn't get excited when Carson Wentz was the quarterback of this year.
Carson Wentz is so bad.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ramondre, McCaffrey. Yeah. Nick B's team was pretty good apart from Jeff Wilson. It's disappointing to see Kelsey put up 7. But, he's a tight end. It happens. And it's definitely his worst game of the week, though. Or of the season, I mean.
They're playing the Bengals, who have beat them 3 times in a row now. That's what I heard. That's pretty
Got their number.
crazy.
Brandon
They do.
will not be happy. Yeah, Lane's team, he had Amon-Ra and Tony Pollard. And Christian Kirk had another banger of a week. Christian Kirk's so boom bust, it's actually ridiculous.
Has he been in the flex all year?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has been.
All year.
Ever since week 1. I'm pretty
Flex
sure.
commitment.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Lane's had Kirk in the flex every single
And he
game this
has.
season.
I'm looking at the scores. He's actually done better than I expected for sure.
Yeah, he's not bad. Lane,
Wow.
respect. Also, Lane, you have to get rid of the name now because you're basically a lock. Well, that's not true. We'll talk about it. San Fran's defense had a good game against Miami, though. They had a pick 6, I think. The bench. Ooh, it's good to see Swift have a good week for Lane. If you're Lane going into the playoffs, it's good to see Swift get 14 carries. Granted, they played the Jags and they blew them out, which might be part of the reason why, but Swift this season hasn't really gotten the usage he needs ever since his injury. So that's kind of big. Drake London had a good game too. Yeah. Good things to see on the LK squad. Although Hayden Hurst's hurt, so now he's going to need another tight end because Waller's out. Oh, he's Gesicki. I mean, you're not starting Gesicki though. Back-to-back gooses. Lane needs a tight end, and there's nobody out there. All right. Enough with the matchups. Let's get to what people really care about. Playoff standings. What do we got going on here? Locks. Lemons and Nick B. They're locked in. They are both locked in for bye weeks. So who wants to be the 1 seed is really what's going on there. For Nick to get the 1 seed, he needs Mike to lose, or he needs to outscore. He just needs to outscore Mike by like 30 points, which is totally doable. Jake, you are guaranteed playoffs. Congrats.
Hey, thanks.
If you win, you'll be the 3 seed, and you'll go up against the last seed in qualification. George, you are in a conglomeration of Lane and Brandon at 7 and 6. None of you are guaranteed playoffs technically, but Brandon and George are basically guaranteed playoffs because if they lose and Preston wins, Preston would have to outscore you by 100 points plus.
Big challenge.
Yeah. So you guys are pretty much locks. Laner is really the only unstable one here. Because if Lane loses, so if Lane wins, he's in, right? And that's true for not only Lane but also you and Brandon, George.
Okay.
But if Lane loses and Preston wins, Preston's pretty much guaranteed in because Lane has to outscore Preston by like 150. Preston is a big tiebreaker on Lane, and I have a chance to pass Lane. Oh, I actually have a chance to pass Lane. I have to outscore Lane by like 70 though, 65-ish. And that's probably not going to happen.
Wait. But if you or Preston and Lane play each other.
Oh, they play each other?
Yeah, so that screws you.
Oh, I'm fucked. Never mind, yep. I'm out, boys. Pain. So I'm out. And obviously Kate and Greg are out. So
I just realized I can drop if I lose and Brandon and George and Lane all win and Lane outscores me by whatever that is. It's like 70 or 80 or whatever. I could I could be a 3 seed, I could be a 6 seed, so
yeah. You can pretty much swing anywhere.
It's gonna be interesting.
So
I could pretty much play any of those, whoever makes it, really. I don't know. I can't plan ahead like that, obviously.
Yeah, George, if you win and Jake loses, you could be the 3 seed pretty easily. You just have to outscore Brandon, assuming he wins.
That would have to be a preferred because Nick's team looks pretty dangerous, same as Mike's, so wouldn't want to go up against them.
True. That's a good point. Well, what does the playoffs bracket look like, right? We've got 4th and 5th play the 1. So, yeah, you want to be away from Nick, probably. Well, I mean, are you more afraid of Nick's team than Lemon's team? Because Lemon's debatably better. I'd probably rather play Mike's.
I think Nick's has more potential to go off. I think his team has shown that it can put up those high numbers. So, and mine's hurt. My team's very, very hurt. So I'd be nervous to go up against any of them, to be honest.
I respect that.
I'm scared of both, but Lemons does have some names. I think he's got more names. Yeah. I don't know. Just seeing Tyreek Hill and Debo.
Debo hasn't been that good though, and Saquon's been excellent. To be fair to him, but the Giants have been struggling.
Mahomes.
Yeah, Mahomes. Mahomes is a bit scary.
Nick's got a really good team too.
McCaffrey. I think he has a Chubb too.
We won't have to worry about that yet.
Hopkins, McCaffrey, Ramondre. That's pretty scary. Jalen Hurts has been just as good as
Ramondre has been an animal this year.
Yeah, and DeAndre Hopkins has been very good coming back.
Definitely.
So, yeah, that's interesting.
Gabe Davis hasn't done as well as I thought he was going to do this year. He's been pretty hit or miss.
He can always
put
a
lot more of a miss, sadly.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, he can for sure.
So, pretty much the only person that can... Okay, so the only person on the outside looking in that can still get in is Preston. Preston needs to beat Lane. And if Preston beats Lane, he's in.
Yep, that's all it is for him.
So
each game there.
Yeah. That's the only competition then, right? If Preston beats Lane, he's in. And Lane's out because Lane's not beating anybody else on tiebreakers. So it doesn't matter what George and Brandon do.
That's the only one, yep.
Yeah, that is the only matchup that matters.
George loses, Preston would have to outscore him by 110.
Yeah.
So
that's the only matchup that matters. For being in the playoffs, not for seeding, though.
Correct.
Yeah. Huh.
But either way, this is a weird year where usually the last week you don't have both the buys locked up and only one game that that matters to actually get in the playoffs. But that's what happened this year.
Yeah, it's going to be like that probably going forward in the NFL, where week 14 is going to be bye weeks. So we'll see. But yeah, I guess the only matchup that matters for getting in the playoffs is Lane v. Preston. So all eyes will be on that game. And George and Brandon and Jake are fighting for seeding within themselves. And Nick and Lemons are fighting for the 1 seed. Cool. Can't believe I'm pained that I'm in the group with Kate and Greg. I feel icky. But what can you do? So, what do we got? Best players of the week. Jalen Hurts, back-to-back weeks for Nick, had 42.4 this week. Another Nick player, McCaffrey, 28.6. Pretty weak week for the running backs. Wide receiver Devontae Adams, 43.7 for Brandon, and I'm pretty sure he dropped a touchdown too, which would have made that even more ridiculous.
He did, yeah.
So, kudos there. Tight end, get out your phones to Google this guy, Cade Otton, 14.8 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, free agent, of course. Bless Jake's heart for knowing who that was before we hopped on the show.
Yeah.
Respect there. Another free agent, Greg Zuerlein, 19 points. And obviously the Cleveland defense had 33, so they are number 1 for Lemons' team. That's pretty gross. As far as transactions go, we're sadly recording this on Tuesday because of scheduling conflicts. So I can't comment on transactions. I don't think they've gone through yet. So yeah, I mean, I guess I could comment on the transactions right before the game. Oh, Mike picked up the Cleveland defense right before.
Ooh.
Oh, no, that's November 30th. Okay, so he picked them up on last Wednesday before the week. But it wasn't a waiver pickup. It was just, a standard pickup. That's tough. Whole league whiffed on that one. Let's see. Darius Slayton, Paris Campbell. Nobody cares. Sorry, George. Well, Darius Slayton had a good week, didn't he? Yeah, he had 15 points. Did you start him?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Hey, respect, though. Good pickup. And I picked up Conklin minutes before the game started, man. And by that, I mean December 1st. Yeah, Thursday at 6:30. Yeah. An hour before the Thursday game, I picked up Conklin because I didn't want to start Dawson Knox, and Dawson Knox goosed, so I felt like a genius. Then Conklin at 3 points, so pain. But that's it for transactions, unfortunately. I'm sure there'll be plenty going into the playoffs. Keep your eyes peeled on the waiver wire. As far as this upcoming week's matchups, get that off the screen. I play Lemons this week, and it really doesn't matter for me, but I'm definitely still going to try. Pretty much my entire team's on bye. So we'll see how it goes. Mike's team, yeah, I'm gonna have to pick Lemons here personally. It's for the record.
Pretty defeated, sadly, but yeah, it is weird though with the 17 game season now that so many players are on bye in the week 14, which is the last week before playoffs.
Yeah, I would agree.
So that kind of sucks. A lot of people are getting screwed over with Justin Fields on the bye for sure. Chris Olave too.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are big names.
Yeah, if I was fighting for the playoffs, I'd
be Kamara pissed. Obviously.
Yep. Yeah, well, Kamara's been terrible, so it doesn't matter. That hurts. So yeah, Mike's fighting for first place. If he wins, he has to not be outscored by Nick by like 30 points. I think that's the rule. We've got battle for last place. Actually, Greg is guaranteed last place. So, Greg, you can actually play your start. Oh, it looks like he's changed his lineup. He's got the boys in. He's trying to get on the pod one last time. Now that he's guaranteed a spot at the first pick of the draft, you got to get Kenyon Drake out of your lineup, Greg. Make some pickups, dude. Earn it. He doesn't have a running back in his team. JT Montgomery both on bye. Dang. He's probably still going to beat Cade, though, if Cade doesn't fix that up. Cade's guaranteed second pick of the draft. So Cade could try, too. This could be...
Yeah, he's going to put his starters in, I think. I think he is.
Cade has to put his starters in against Greg just to knock him out of the pod. That'd be hilarious. Yeah. I don't want to pick this game without knowing if they're going to start their lineups or not. Because if they are, Cade wins this game. I'm going to pick Cade. And Cade's probably not going to start his lineup now, and Greg will.
And if not, you get to hear about it in the pod next week from Greg.
Yeah, so. I will be grumpy about that if Cade doesn't set his team. Because Cade's team is definitely better than Greg's. Like, he's got A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf. I'd probably, Kirk Cousins against Detroit. Kenneth Walker's hurt, unfortunately, so that stings a bit, but it is what it is. Actually, Cade doesn't have running backs.
Was Damian Pierce a Greg original, or was he traded to Greg in the season?
I think he's a Greg original. Yeah, 59th round, 6th round. Greg original.
Nice.
So kudos there, Greg. Good pick. Let's see. Next matchup. Brandon and Lemons. Wait, I thought it said... Oh, that's the wrong fucking week. There we go. Brandon and Nick B. So same as Lemons. Nick's going to be fighting for first place. And Brandon's hoping he can get a win here. Not to stay in the playoffs, but just to improve his seed. This should be a pretty good matchup. Nick's kicker's on bye. Terry McLaurin's on bye. Brandon has Cordell Patterson on bye, who he wasn't going to start anyways. If I'm Brandon, I'm thinking about benching Amari Cooper. Just because Deshaun Watson was terrible. It's tough, though. I mean, he got 9 targets. And you don't expect for Deshaun Watson to be bad 2 weeks in a row, but also he hasn't played football in like 2 years. You could start Devonta Smith or Garrett Wilson. Oh, well, Garrett Wilson plays Buffalo, so I probably wouldn't start Garrett Wilson. Yeah, I think I'd probably start Devonta Smith. What do you boys say?
I think I'd think about it for a while. My first pick would be Smith, but then I would change my mind and go to Wilson just because I'm thinking the Bills are going to be up, and Jets are going to have to keep passing. Although they did run a lot, and they had some success with their how many running backs they were using last week.
Okay.
I think Michael Carter was out, so they had Zonovan and some. Oh, yeah, no. I can't remember if he came back last week or not.
I don't remember either. What say you, George? Are you a Garrett Wilson guy, a Devonta Smith guy, or an Amari Cooper guy?
I'll keep Amari Cooper in.
Yeah?
He's not going to be bad different. 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah? I'm not worried about him being bad. I'm worried about Deshaun being bad 2 weeks in a row.
Gotta have faith. Gotta have faith.
All right, bet. Yeah, so we're all different. Interesting. That's probably his only start-sit decision. I mean, you'd hope Mixon's back after his concussion, right? That'd be a really bad one if he missed 3 weeks.
Yeah. No, I actually hope Mixon's out for a couple weeks so I can keep playing Pirine. So I hope. But
Zach Taylor said that Joe Mixon has a chance to clear concussion protocol early in the week. So you would think that Mixon will be back, in which case he's in the lineup. Dalvin Cook's in the lineup, especially against Detroit. Schultz.
Which, by the way, in that game, I heard the Lions are favored by 2 points
against Minnesota.
Against the Vikings.
No way.
At home. No joke, which is pretty crazy because the Lions are, I think, 5-7 now. But the Vikings still have, 2 losses? I don't even remember. That's really crazy that they're favored.
Holy shit. 2.5?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the oh, wow. I'd hammer that so hard, Minnesota. I might have to hop onto Bovada. That's insane. All right, hey, cool. I mean, I know the Lions have been rolling, but I mean, oh man, that's interesting. I mean, it's not like the Vikings have been losing games. But hey, Vegas knows more than me, I'm sure. Butker, Baltimore, yeah, it's fine. Baltimore against Pittsburgh's a pretty good matchup. Although with Lamar not playing, Baltimore, yeah, they're probably still fine. Like you said, Tyler Huntley plays the role pretty well.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nick's got Hurts, Gabe Davis, Nuke, McCaffrey, Stevenson. Kelsey against Denver isn't a very good matchup. Wilson against the Chargers. This is pretty locked. Huh. I don't know who to pick here, not going to lie. Who would you take, Jake?
See, if Mixon's back, I think I go Brandon.
I lean Brandon too, I think. Which, that's tough though. I'm gonna go with Nick B.
Me too.
Yeah, because I think Brandon's gonna be really pissed off after he puts up like 100 points against Nick B because his entire team takes a shit because it's what happens when you play Nick.
Talking about the points against.
Yep, it's in the team name, man. It's just what happens. So, let's roll with that. I don't know why my matchups keep going backwards. Let's see, Laner and Preston. So this is the big one. Laner right now has Tua in the lineup. Questionable. I mean, Tua's okay, right? He's playing.
I believe so.
Did he get hurt again? Tua ankle's expected to start. Oh, he got knocked out of the last game. I didn't realize that. Apparently the Dolphins could have put him back in if the game was close, but they got dubbed. I guess he must have got knocked out.
Yeah, he was playing the 49ers, and he was kind of struggling, but that 49ers defense is crazy.
Very good.
So
yeah, they
can't blame them too much.
Mm-hmm. Amon-Ra plays Minnesota. That should be a pretty good game for him. Godwin against San Fran's going to be tough, dude. I'm not starting anybody against San Fran, like, ever. I benched Alvin Kamara in my work league last week because they played San Fran, and it worked out excellent for me. Pollard plays Houston. That's a juicy matchup. Najee against Baltimore. It's fine. Lane's going to need a tight end. Christian Kirk's probably going to keep doing what he does. It's Lane's team. San Fran Yeah, you could probably start San Fran's defense against Tampa. Why not? Tampa stinks. Lane's bench. I'm starting Dak against Houston.
Does he officially go like Swift over Najee?
Ooh, the Lions have Minnesota this week. It's tough to have two Lions players on your team, but you know what I would do actually? I would put Kirk in for Godwin, and I would bench Godwin for Swift. That's what I would do personally.
That one, it just feels like, I get what you mean going against San Francisco. That just feels like you missed the playoffs because you benched Godwin. You got to reevaluate.
Yep.
That just,
it's ballsy.
I couldn't make myself do that move.
Or even put Myers in there.
I'd have to live with losing with starting Godwin, I feel like. But
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's very possible that works out.
I do think
very surprised.
I do think Swift hits my lineup though. If it's not for Godwin, it's probably for Najee. God, get that stupid weather thing off my screen, Yahoo. Come on. Yeah, I'm probably eating Yahoo for eating Najee for for Swift. But yeah.
CeeDee Lamb projected 25.
That's
is something
nuts.
else.
I guess they play Houston.
I like CeeDee.
You know what I'm doing if I'm Lane?
Projection of the season by far.
I'm 100% starting Dak in this game over Tua. Because even if Dak isn't better than Tua,
that's dangerous.
Yeah, but it takes away CeeDee's big game.
True. I'm just.
And he's got.
You barely need to have an arm when you have Waddle and Hill on your team.
I'm starting. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's totally fair. Tua's probably gonna have a good game against the Chargers, but I mean, he's had back-to-back weeks of less than 20 points, and one of those was against Houston. Yeah, I'm probably throwing Dak in there, man. Give me some Dak. Dak-alicious.
Two bold takes there. But
I want as many
very possible.
Cowboys as possible against the Texans. Manti has Aaron Jones on bye. Manti's winning this week. Let's be real. Joe Burrow against Cleveland, CD, Mike Evans. Mike Evans against San Fran's tough, but if Lane's going to start Godwin, then that should balance itself out.
Jamal Williams moving into
Aaron Jones is on bye. Chubb against Cincy. Oh, Kittle against Tampa is a tough one, too. But somebody's got to win it. Who plays instead of Aaron Jones? It's Jamal Williams against Minnesota.
Yep, Jamal Williams.
Yeah, it's got to be. He's the only one on the roster. I'm not super happy about that if I'm Preston. But it should be okay. Yeah, I'm going Preston in this one, but it's tight. Nah, you know what? Vamos Lane. Let's go. I'm going later. Changing my pick. Let's go, Lane. Let's see. I think this is the last matchup of the week. George. You and Jake.
Yes.
How are we feeling about this matchup, gentlemen?
I'm not feeling good with Lamar being out probably.
It's a happy accident.
I'm gonna have to go to the waiver wire, but I'm just hoping Lamar's gonna be feeling good 2 weeks from now.
Tyler Huntley will be out there.
That is true. There's a couple quarterbacks I'm looking at. There's a couple quarterbacks. What's up, George?
Tough,
what's your winning streak against me?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I bet you do.
I don't think you've won one yet, have you?
In general or in a while? Maybe not in general. I can't remember off the top of my head beating you in a long time. If I did,
I'm gonna live look at this fact check. I'm gonna see when the last time George beat Jake was.
I think the daddy Jake
beat me this
gonna
season.
come back.
Oh no!
You lost to George week 5 by 40 points. You lost 146 to 181. Let's go into the archives, huh?
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
We don't have to go into the archives.
What's up, George?
Is that Daddy Jake name coming back this week or what?
You mean Jake's daddy?
There you go, Jake's daddy. That's the one.
Not Daddy Jake. Yeah, I could see that coming back.
My team, I'm scared. My bench is really it's very rough. And I mean, Samaje's in the starting lineup. If Mixon comes back, I'm sure he'll be involved. Doesn't help. Kareem Hunt's still on the flex. Don't like that. I just need to do what my team's done for the last couple of weeks and just hope that Diggs, Allen, Eckler kind of carry me, and then McPherson gets his 12.
Jake, last time
I'd pick George here if I were you.
The last time that you beat George was 2020 when George
was a COVID year.
George was 2-11. You beat him twice. That was when his team name was Lost Hope.
Oh my God.
So
I was doing really good in this league until George joined. Is that true? That's probably true.
Yeah, George is your kryptonite, bro.
Started out pretty good.
He's coming for you.
You hate to see it. I wish I would have held on to the Saquon Christian McCaffrey combo and Hopkins. Actually, I had those 3 keepers, got rid of them, and then it's their season.
Christian Watson on bye really hurts. Not gonna lie.
It does, as I'm saying. That's not a player that's really tough to be on bye for anyone going into the playoffs. It's an important week.
Yeah. Darius Slayton should be okay though. He's had pretty good past 4 weeks. Honestly, pretty good past 6 weeks. It's gonna be interesting, This is a tough one.
You don't even know who my quarterback is yet.
Yeah, well that's the problem. I mean, P. Ryan's not gonna be starting.
He might have to. Look at my bench.
Yeah, he might have to. I mean, he's not gonna be starting
my
that game.
Bench is rough. Oh yeah.
You could start Jameson Williams.
I know. So I was talking about that last week, and you were like, you got to see what did you say? 2 12, 10+ point weeks, something like that. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to have time for that. But he played 5 snaps last week or something. He was just pretending to run routes as they were running the ball. Maybe he gets involved this week, and then if it's literally a toss-up between, let's say I have to put Kareem Hunt in my running back slot, and then I have to move Njoku to the flex, I'd probably start Jameson Williams. If he had a couple catches this week, I'd probably have to start Jameson in the flex. I just want to see Jameson just pop off this week and feel a little better. How about that? That'd be nice.
You know, your best bet for points is probably David Njoku.
I know, but I have. There's been a few weeks where I did start two tight ends. It was like Everett and Njoku combo.
On the bright side for
like
you,
12.
You're in the playoffs regardless, so you don't need the win, but it would be very nice. I'm going George here. George, I'm picking you, big guy.
It's a good pick.
Heck yeah.
I'm going with my guy. Have I done all the picks? I think I have. Why are we doing this, Yahoo? So, it's because it's Tuesday. I see why. Okay. Yeah, I'm going George here. And I think it's gonna be a blowout.
That's right.
I think Jake's daddy's making a return.
He will be back.
And I don't know what Jake's team name's gonna be, but it better be.
I don't know yet either. Maybe you'd have to reference the new quarterback.
Are you gonna pull lemons and not change it unless you know you're gonna win?
He does like to do that.
Brandon was looking at his matchup against Lemons this past week, and he's like, Mike hasn't changed his team yet. He said he's gonna wait till he's projected to win, then he's gonna change it. Sure enough.
I do have to respect how many different team names he's had, though.
It's very impressive work.
There's been some solid ones.
Yeah,
there's been some offensive ones, but there's been some good ones.
You know what the funniest part is? The most offensive ones. Honestly, I think the most offensive one's probably the Preston one, and he lost that week. A lot of the really raunchy ones, he's taken the L. So,
yeah,
we'll see what happens, man.
Although I still have 2 out of the 3, or I beat him 2 times, so 2 out of his 3 losses are me somehow this season.
Attaboy, Jake.
I love that because he did have some names going against me.
Man, that must be his only other L then. Oh, fair play. Attaboy, Preston. Well, I think that does it for the rewind, gentlemen. I think we're all wrapped up. Does anybody have any closing thoughts? Good luck to everybody not named. Well, you guys are playing each other, so good luck to
interesting. I was about to say
everybody not named Mike, and I'm gonna let you guys fight it out. So, you guys
good luck to everybody except for George.
Ooh.
That's all I got.
It's all right, Jake. We all know you're scared of Hasbullah, so.
He's a scary individual. He really is. He's always got weapons on him.
George, did you hear the show?
I'll tell you what.
Did you hear the show that Brandon?
Brian.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I was just about to bring that. I think you're about to say what I was gonna say. Dude,
listen to you talk about who is that in that picture. Had me weak.
Yeah. Hey man, he's a guy.
That's funny.
So, all right. Good luck to everybody. Hey, thanks everybody for listening in. Hope you all have a great week, except for Mike. And you know what? Screw you, Jake. You beat me this past week. I want you to lose. So,
all right.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next week for the playoffs. Maybe with Greg, otherwise probably with Nick B. I don't know. We'll see. Oh no, Nick wants to rewind the playoffs. We'll talk about it. But thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks and goodbye.